Hey guys, it's Ellen here. It's Floral Friday. We're working on some simple, easy floral Christmas cards you can make, or decor, or whatever you want to do with it. Can be an invitation to something, I don't know what. I go over it step by step. I'm going to link in the tutorial, another tutorial I did to help you with some of these flowers, and I go over it in the tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave in the comment section. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. I have exclusive tutorials there weekly on Thursdays with traceables. And hit the bell notification button to know my tutorials up. They're kind of sporadic, obviously, especially during the Christmas season, so it's a little insane. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go over supplies. I have 2 pieces of Arches 100% cotton cold pressed paper, like a 5x7. Like I said, you can use for a card. You can make it smaller and then put it on folded cardstock. That's 5x7. You know, basically 7x10. You just fold it in half. I'm just showing you. I'm just having a piece of paper like this for just showing you for the tutorial reasons. I'm not going to use the full entire piece of Arches paper folded because you're wasting a lot of really good paper. And I have my brushes. I'll go over them as I use them. I kind of don't know generally what I'll do, but I know I'm going to start with my Princeton 8 long round. I have my Grumbacher number 10. I've got my Princeton Neptune 12 and the Velvet long round number 4. My palette here with my paints in them. I always have everything listed in the description box. Water jars and my paper towels. So I'm going to base these florals. These are easy florals. I did a tutorial a while ago. I will link it in the description box of these navy and burgundy flowers, and we're going to use these similar flowers, but we're going to paint, you know, reds, and maybe we might do a white one here, but reds and greens, you know, Christmas colors. This would be easy Christmas easy Christmas cards to paint. And I don't really do a drawing tutorial on this because it's basically painting with your brush, and I'll just use a piece of scrap to show you again. There's just ways to just paint them. I'm going to grab my Grumbacher. Gonna make some red, but that tutorial really shows you how to paint the flowers pretty easily. I'm gonna make a red with the Grumbacher and the, in magenta and the cadmium yellow deep. If you have a red you use, go ahead and do that. I like to mix my reds, so I'm making a nice bright red, pinkish red right now. Turn it a little bit red. Here we go. So you can see some of the flowers, and then you can do a poinsettia if you want, like the navy flower. It's just these simple strokes. So it's a good rounded tip brush. The long rounds might not work as well. You want a more rounded brush tip. And you're just holding it on the side, and you're just going to push down, making like a V. See? Curve it. And then you're going to curve backwards down here. And look, there's that simple flower. Right? The rose, there's a couple ways to do it. Make a dark center. Just take on the tip of your brush. Got some yellow paint on here. You kind of just make a mark in the middle and a curved one next to it, and then just keep doing that, going around, and then leaving that just as it is. And clean off your brush, grab some water on there, and just kind of push the water next to it. And that's how you get that loose roses that you see a lot of people that have. And then when that dries, you can go back in and add in some deeper tones. If you want to do a dry brush, like not a dry brush, but a wet on dry, you just go like this. It's a curving. You just kind of keep pushing the brush and leaving some space in between, and you're making these roses just like that. And again, when that dries, you can go add a deeper tone like I have in here. So those flowers are going to be really simple. This is kind of like a bushy, almost like a peony in a way I opened up. Again, you're just making these simple strokes back and forth with your brush. It's good to have, like I said, this rounded tip. The pointier tip, you're going to have to manipulate the brush a little more. And again, with the rose, so we're going to make a darker red. Grab my magenta with my Prussian blue and some yellow. Gonna make that burgundy kind of red. I have some crimson over here too. So you can go into that red that we already mixed and add the deeper tones. See, add the deeper tones on. I generally like to keep them on the one side. It's still too wet to kind of add it, but you see what I'm saying? Just adding those deeper tones in. And same thing with this flower. You'll add another layer of color. But this is how we do the strokes. I have so many tutorials on leaves too. Leaves are just as simple. With the brush, depending on the brush, I mean, you could use all kinds of brushes. You're just making this movement of curving and curving and meeting in the middle, curving and curving. If you have I have a tutorial on this one, an oval brush. This was a great one with the tip, pointed tip. This is the Princeton Neptune. It makes the leaves so simple for you. That's why it's good to have a variety of brushes, especially the oval brushes. And look at that, it already looks like a leaf shape. And you're just pushing down and pulling back, and you're like an instant leaf. You're not even trying, you know? So let's get to it. We're gonna make one that's kind of like a floral center and one that's kind of like a wreath. So I'm gonna start with my flowers. I'm gonna start with that Grumbacher brush. Since we already were using it, why not make some more red? Let's go back to that brush. And like I said, you don't have to make this simple loose flower. You could make a poinsettia. But just to give you an idea of a variety of things you could do for cards. Simple, fast, easy. And it's, you know, it's relaxing. So again, we're making this simple. It's a little too pinky. I'm gonna add some more yellow. Brush strokes. Like I just did before. That like back and forth motion. Leave the center white. And you have that simple flower. Zoom in a little bit. And that's your mainstay flower. We could do a nice pretty white or peach colored rose. I don't know if I do red on red because then your eye is like, doesn't know where to go. You want to mix it up with the greens and the red. And while that's drying a little bit, I want it to dry a little bit because we want to do a flower next to it to get a let it dry. I'm going to mix up some of this Van Dyke brown. I have to activate it a little bit. I'm going to go switch over real quick while this one's drying because it's very wet. You might want to come back with you if you're looking at this and want to do the one card at a time. Mixing in some of the olive green with that. Green. And I'm going to do like, I just drew like a simple circle, like a wreath. And we're going to just do, again, just take the tip of this brush. This is the Princeton 8 long round. What I like about this one, long and round as it says it is, has a nice point to it. So you can take it and hold your brush like this. And I use my pinky to guide it. And you're just kind of pushing it down and pulling it up. Just like that. I'm going to grab some of this more green paint over here. And we're going to go like that. Really loose. All right. I'm going to mix some Prussian blue over here with some green olive to make a nice greenish bluish color. And we're going to mix a bunch of different greens. I'll add a little magenta to make it just a little bit darker. Okay. So here, using the same brush, you can make these simple leaves also. Just pushing here and pulling like that. You can leave some white space. It doesn't matter if you don't hit the whole entire paper like this. You can just like go like this. See how I'm just using the tip back and forth. So many different ways to hold your brush. Go like this again with the, you're making this really simple strokes. Just the tip. See, I'm just using the tip. And if there's little dry brush marks are really pretty. I like them. And again, go like that. Add another little branch coming off. Gonna get really fun. And so down here, make some bigger ones. Right? And we can do some pine needles with this darker green. Just make a simple line with that long round brush. And then just make some real, just take the brush, the tip of it, and just going back and forth. Or just pushing it out like that. Really simple. Pine needles. Right? And then grab the lighter green and the brown. I'm going to go down here. We're going to put some berries on there. I just made some simple lines connecting to that one. Just like that. I'm going to have some more sprays of this pine going up this way too. So you just put a stick going out here and just take your brush. You see this nice point on this brush. This is so easy. Look how pretty it's already coming out. It doesn't require lots of effort. Just manipulating the brush. Just like that. Gonna get some more leaves over here. Just like that, simple leaves, some dark leaves over here to balance out that one. And I'm gonna go in, get that Van Dyke brown again, pull it over here. I'm gonna make these little sprays. Berries gonna go there. I'm gonna put some berries out this way too. So then, see how simple that was to do that simple wreath? And just like that, and then you're adding the berries. So I'm going to grab the red. I'm just going to throw in some of these really quick berries. Just painting in these little circular berries. I'm going to grab even the darker color too. Going on top. It looks a little too goofy, like perfect, so I'm going to take some of the red and go in here. Overlap them. I want them more organic looking. So you want them not to look so perfect. They were looking a little too perfect for me. Okay, put some more over here, bigger ones. Just like that. And if you want to balance it out and put some up and over in here too. Just big old red berries. And now at this point, I'll let this dry a bit and we'll come back to it. We're going to go back. We're flipping back and forth here. Because this one's now drier that we can put. It's still a little wet right up in here, but we can put the flower over here now. So I want to do it in, like I did this rose here. It's very pale. It's almost like brown gray. We start off with the yellow center. So I'll get this cadmium yellow deep. I'll add a little Van Dyke brown, touch of magenta. Whoops, that's a little too much. I want this like deeper golden yellow brown. Nothing. That's looking a little too orangey. Anyway, go back to that. It's a combination. Anyway, I start off with the yellow center, and then we're just gonna bleed out the rest. So, just making these little marks at the tip of my paintbrush. You can see a little closer. Little marks. See that? Dab, dab, dab. Little mark. That would be the center. You can actually add the yellow right now while this is dry in here. I'm gonna clean off my brush. Maybe take up some of that yellow now. I'm going to take that Van Dyke brown, add a little of the magenta, kind of making this blushy tone color. I'm going to really water it down though. Okay, it's looking a little reddish brown. I'm going to add some yellow. Okay, this is really loose and wet. I don't know if you can see this. Sorry. This is really loose and wet. And you tap it on paper towel. See, now I'm thinking it's a little too orangey red. I want it more gray. So I'm going to just lift some of that up. Go in and grab some of my Payne's Gray. And now I've got that gray tone. Grayish, brownish color. Okay, that's more like it. Get it really loose. And I dab it on paper towel to get the excess water off. And I'm just gonna go and take it and push the paint like we talked about before. Just pushing these little marks around here, just to indicate that it's a white rose. So it looks kind of brown. You might want to like lift up some of the color if it looks a little too brown. I wanted it more blushy. I might add a little more magenta. It's just supposed to be a super pale color. It could be pale gray. It could be pale blush. My paints are getting all messed up right now. Hold on. I want to make sure I get this nice pretty blush color. Okay. So I'm going in here and adding a little blush kind of color tones and just taking the tip. See, I'm just adding these little marks. It takes practice, but you can totally do it. And I'll link that other video too. See, I'm just doing a couple little marks sideways here and leaving white space open. So you get this white rose or blush rose. And that's that. And now we're going to add some greens to this one. So I take the greens here. Simple greens leaves, just like this. See the tip? Move it around like that. Take the brown, we're going to put some stems, we're going to put some berries, of course. Why would we not have berries? Coming out down here, over in here. And of course, I'm going to have some pine needles. So I want that deep, dark, bluish green. And I'll put some out here. Just those little sprays. Right? You can put another spray kind of peeking down here. And maybe another one out here. And then up here I'm going to add some more branches with the Van Dyke brown. I'll just take the tip of this brush and just adding these little branches. Here I'm going to add maybe like a eucalyptus type of leaf. So I'll grab my peacock blue, mix it in with the greens I have here. Because eucalyptus has that like turquoisey green color. I want some different greens. And put the line down here and just make those little circles. I just want a variety of greens and stems and leaves. Gonna make it just a bit less bright turquoisey. I'll change the color up just a bit. So like kind of like this rounded little leaves, just like that. And then again, we'll go back in with the greens. I'll just take the tip of this brush again. I'll just put this line out here. And we'll do some simple greens connecting that. Just playing around. I keep adding some more greeneries over here. I like just using the tip and then pushing down on the belly of the brush. And you get this nice spray of color Go back in here. I'll add another green. This is how I paint intuitively. I'm just kind of like seeing how it's looking as I'm painting it. And then I'm going to go in and add some of this berry. So I'll grab some of my red, mix up some more red. Just put the berries up in here. Really simple cards. Don't want to overthink it too much. Put some berries over here. I like them really loose. Just has more organic feel. So this red flower is looking a little, I wouldn't say stale, but like flat. So I'm going to have to add the deeper tone to it. To make that nice deeper red. Okay. So again, just go in here, kind of towards the center, and push it outward. Don't want to do too much of it, because then you ruin that bright red that you had. You can put a little of that color here under these berries. And then the rose, you can just get a little bit deeper with the tones. Go back in here. Just a little bit more on the side. And then the other greens, you can go in and add some veins if you wanted to. I wouldn't, you know, fuss it with it too much. Can add another element. I'm going to have this yellow, kind of mustardy yellow color, kind of coming out here, just to give it more variety. Just different type of leaves and petals. And you just kind of look back and say, is it done? Is it not done? Just kind of play around with it. I think that's a simple enough floral. It's a nice floral. We can go back to this one. This one's just about done. Really simple. I might add some more of this yellow spray. Just simple little leaves. It's getting too wet, so it's not cooperating. Some more coming off this way. Simple little branches. You want a variety of colors. Looks a little more organic. Again, I'll go grab some green. Mix in some browns. You can put the veins in if you want to. Just another little spray here. Really loose. See, I'm just taking the tip of my brush and just playing around with leaves. You can even add some like those, I think they're juniper berries, the blue ones that are out with the, this time of year. So I'll take my Prussian blue, add a little magenta, kind of one on the navy side, but you can put some blue ones too. So just put some blue ones up in here. And some down here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can do holly instead. I'm gonna grab this, make this yellow like a chartreusey greeny color, and put some fun sprays over here. See, I'm just taking the brush, the tip of it, and just doing these wiggles. And you get these nice fun little colors coming out. And that's pretty much it. And then you can write Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas inside. But this is how it is. This is so simple, guys. Maybe a little more advanced for that rose, but I would go back in for the rose. I would add just a couple little details. I would take some Van Dyke brown, water it down a little bit, and just tap right in the middle here, the stamens. Just a little detail. And if you want to go back, just add a little couple more branches here. Simple brown leaves. Really delicate. Just adds a little something. So yeah, just add these really teeny little branches, just like that. That's simple. So, you know, you can write joy in the middle, peace, whatever you feel like. Let's get rid of 2020. Oh my God, this year is insane. What would I write in the middle? Merry Christmas. You know, maybe just joy. I'm not the best calligrapher, but it's loose paint. You can use a pen if you don't want to paint the words. If you're not, you know, like you see that? I just put that in there. I'm not the best. There are some people that really paint letters well. I do my best. But that's that. Joy. And there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial for Floral Friday. I haven't done Floral Fridays for a while. I kind of skipped and just did cards, but now I did Floral Friday cards. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Remember, I'm going to link back to this tutorial again just to show you some other flowers. But really, you see the tip of that brush? Just moving around, maneuvering it. That's how you make the leaves. Just practice, practice, practice. Get a piece of scrap like I did with this one. This is scrap from another one I was going to do and I didn't do. And you're just making those roses and leaves. Again, here I'll make just take some paint. Roses, just kind of like little lines, leaving spaces in between. And you got a rose. See? Just like that. It takes a little practice. But you get it. You will get it and you'll be like, wow, I got it. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. I have exclusive tutorials over there on Thursdays with some traceables. This week I just did a simple winter landscape, so you want to check that out. And that's about it. So take care, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Speak to you soon. Bye.